I used to kind of beat on my chest being Mr. Organic, Mr. Organic. And then you get into ads and you're like, oh, what was that? What an idiot I was. But I think even just with people doing organic, I mean, you could get started literally at $1 a day with retargeting. Put the pixel on whatever website you have, whatever platform you use, set up the pixel, go to YouTube and how to install the pixel on Go High Level or ClickFunnels or Kartra or what, I mean, fill in the blank, get that pixel on and get started just with $1 a day. And it's like the whole go do one push-up type thing. Well, like I started doing one, I might as well do 10, or read one page of a book. I might as well keep reading.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Joel Irway here, and welcome to another very special episode of Experts Unleashed. We are continuing our advertising series here today, and I've got a very special guest by the name of Adam Dukes from AdamDukes.com. I'm super excited to bring him on. We're going to talk about what he's doing with his digital products, how he's running traffic, how much he's spending, and all of his strategies that he's using in the day-to-day operations for managing his ad spend. Before we jump into this episode, first, we're going to talk about getinspired.app. Have you ever looked at your content calendar and thought to yourself, I need to create more, but I just don't have the time? If yes, then you need a marketing butler. Inspired is your own personal marketing butler that brings you new, ready-to-use content for your brand every single day without you needing to do a thing. It's all based on proven viral ideas, so you know it's going to convert. Stop wasting hours trying to be creative on demand. Transform your marketing without the time investment right now. Get a 14-day free trial at getinspired.app. What's up, Adam? Welcome.
How you doing, Joel?
It's good to have you. Thanks for jumping on the show here today.
Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. So we chatted a little bit before this episode started, and I have a pretty good idea of what you're doing right now. You've got a new product that you're launching. You ran some ads for some previous products. Give our listeners a little bit of context and a background of where you're at right now, what you do, and what you're currently marketing.
Yeah, so I'm selling a kind of like a bundle of PDFs, different, like how to market on Instagram, how to sell digital products, how to kind of set up like a stand store, which is popular over on Instagram and TikTok. And it was just kind of a bundle of PDFs that actually were like all I assembled from Etsy. I just wanted to get something out there. Like I didn't create them myself, but it was a bundle for $18 I was selling. And I launched that the end of November and spent, was it about 8,500, I think, last month in the 2.5 months that I've been going. December, I think I was, I don't know, maybe 3,000 or 4,000, but things were working. So ramping it up. Didn't have an upsell when I launched the ad. I just had the front end product, but I was like, I got to, if I plan the upsell out, we talked about this before, it'd take me 6 months. So I just put it out there. And then once I started spending money, I was like, I got to figure out this upsell, yesterday. And so it forced me to test different upsells, and AOV wasn't the best, but I was profitable on the front end. Some days better than others, obviously. And then had like a coaching program where I think last I looked, it was 18% of people reached out within 7 days of becoming a customer with interest in the coaching program. And obviously that was where the real money was made.
So you were selling a $27 digital product, or I'm sorry, was it 18?
This was 18. This one was 18. Yes.
$18. And did you say you were profitable on the front end? So how much did it cost for you to acquire an $18 customer?
It was right around 30. And obviously with a bump in the upsell, my AOV, I think was right around 41, 42. And yeah, I think it was about 30, 32 was the CPA.
Yeah. Okay. So you did have an upsell in place. I thought you were saying.
Yeah. The first week I didn't. It was just, let's get it out there, and then I finally got the upsell in place in that. And then made things a little bit different.
Oh, that's awesome. So these weren't even your products, right? So they were.
No, it's kind of like PLR stuff. Basically, it was nice looking stuff. So it wasn't their PLR stuff that might be used to, but nicely designed. And my thought was just, I want to get this offer out here. It would take me a month to write all these PDFs myself. So I'll just assemble it. And that's what I did. And then I launched a new offer last week of my stuff that's my own. So I feel a little bit better. There's a little inauthenticity with selling PLR stuff, not that it's bad. I just thought, this isn't mine, so I wanted to launch. So I launched a new one last week with this mine that I wrote.
So how much were you spending per day, ballpark, when that first launched and when you started to really ramp it up?
I think the first few days it was $50 a day. And then once I got the upsell in place, it was $100 a day, probably within that second week. I've showed a few people what I do, and people they're like, it doesn't make sense that it's working. And so what I do is I just create Instagram reels organically. Mm-hmm. And I have kind of like a specific reel that I create, and I just run traffic. If it performs well organically, I kind of look at it as pour gas on the fire. And so I'm just pouring gas on the fire to these reels. I don't split test anything. I don't like test different images. I don't test different videos. The split testing I'm doing is just another reel, and what's really strange is like the reels that I run the traffic to, I'm doing like the ManyChat keyword comment, which is for the lead magnet. So the reel is like selling the lead magnet, but then the ad, I can put the learn more and the call to action, and people buy right from the ad, even though the reel, I'm not really selling the product, if that makes sense. It kind of goes against what we've all been taught.
So here's where it gets a little confusing. So as someone who is like, I'm 38 years old, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I am social media stupid. Like I legit opened up Instagram app. Like, so we're really ramping up our content marketing and so I'm trying to learn all this stuff, but like all the terminologies of like reels and stories and the different content platforms that are out there. So explain to me and our listeners what a reel is, because the way that I write ads are just like text-based ads with static images. Those do very, very well. But a reel is a short form video. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And do people see any body copy? Like, is there body copy with it, or is the copy just all overlaid on the reel?
Yeah, no, there is like a caption or copy, and that's, over on Instagram, it's underneath the video, as opposed to Facebook, it's, above. So there is some copy, and then I have like the call to action, the keyword, if they comment the keyword, ManyChat fires off like an automated DM with a link to the landing page.
So you mentioned you're doing a lead magnet, and then you're also sending them straight to the sales page, right?
Yes,
So
exactly. Yes.
Okay. So in the caption, is the caption requesting the comment that sends them the lead magnet?
Yes.
That's what the caption is. But the URL, if they click it, goes straight to the sales page.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Okay. So it's kind of like it's a hybrid ad. Like it does a lead magnet and the sales page, correct?
Yeah, kind of best of both worlds. Obviously most of the people are going to comment the keyword, and then I get their name and email that I can follow up with. But some of them, buy directly right from the ad.
Interesting. And I'm assuming inside the lead magnet, it also directs them to the sales page. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you have tracking in place of like how many of those sales came from the lead magnet? How many came directly from the ad?
Yeah, not off the top of my head. I should have pulled those numbers. Yeah, I have tracking links for like, and then I in the ManyChat follow-up sequence, I pitch the sales page like an hour after they got the lead magnet. And so I have tracking links in there. Not a ton of sales come from that ManyChat flow, but there are a few that like pop in, and then of course I track, I think I have a 7-part email follow-up, and sales kind of happen throughout those 7 days as well.
Got it. Okay, cool. So what's the structure of your reel style ad? Meaning, what's the typical framework look like?
Yeah, so like the first 0 to 3 seconds is that hook, and then I hit them right with social proof, probably around like 3 seconds, like between 3 to 5 seconds, hit them with social proof, and then I kind of explain what I'm doing or how I'm doing it in the next 3 to 10 seconds, a couple different clips, and then I do the call to action. They're about 22 seconds long in total, and they're kind of quick clips. I would say in 22 seconds, it's probably 5 or 6 different clips, so it's quick moving. It starts off with me just walking or outside. And so I'll do a hook, and if the hook works well, so one of them, it's kind of like biz off it. I think I said, what's the dumbest way to earn money in 2025? I think it was something along those lines. And then I did, what is the silliest way? What is the funnest way? I just kind of swapped out that one word.
Yep.
And then I just try to do different hook backgrounds. So one, I got trees behind me. One, I'm sitting here at my desk. I'm in Vegas, so I plan to go down like on the strip and just film different hooks, and what's really funny is my reel, those 22-second videos, the hook and the call to action are different, but the body of it or the meat of it, I just in CapCut, it's the same thing. Like the social proof, then I share what I do, how I do it. The only really 2 differences is like the 2 to 3 seconds hook, and then the 2 to 3 second call to action.
Have you ever done static image reels, or do you find like these not live videos, but these selfie style reels work the best?
Yeah, so I started with static images, and then I just had this idea to test the reel. And again, I didn't think it was going to work, because in the reel, I created the reel before I had the product, which is kind of weird. And I just threw it out there as a test, and it worked better. So I've just kind of done this reel strategy because the image ads. Now I do use like image ads for like retargeting and stuff. I don't really do like the reels for retargeting. So I do use the image ads kind of on the back side.
So take me through like, all right, when you launched that last product, like was this, you launched the reel ad right away, $50 a day. Like, what did those sales, what did it look like the first day? Did you make sales? Was it, did they trickle in? Like, how did
Uh,
you know that you had
yeah.
something?
Yeah, so the first day it was it was image ads the first probably week, maybe first 2 weeks actually. The first day I think I spent $50, I made a sale and I was over the moon with that, just
Yeah, yeah.
making one sale. The second day was the day before Thanksgiving, I made 0 sales. And then Thanksgiving I made 3 sales. And I think I only spent like I don't think it was even $100. And I thought, oh, I'm gonna hit it hard on Black Friday, you know. And I think I ramped it up to like $200 on Black Friday. I didn't make any sales, so I got humbled real quick. Like, okay, maybe I didn't find the loophole. Kind of bounced around, no sales, a sale, 2 sales, 3 sales. I kind of bounced around. I think it was probably 2 weeks in. I think it was probably 12 or 1500 total that I've spent. Where it was like, okay, profitable day, profitable day, profitable day. Back to back to back to back, probably about $1,200 to $1,500 in spend and probably at least 20 different ads tested at that point,
Mm-hmm.
just with slight variations, as
Yep.
just background image was blue, black, white, gray, whatever, everything else was the same. It was just the background image. And then I found a color that worked and I would go with that. And then I tried to and then I tested out these reels and that started working better than the image ads. And I kind of just abandoned the whole image ad strategy.
Walk me, what was your image consisting of?
It was just a picture of like the 18 guides. So it looked like, I find like if you make it look like they're getting a lot of stuff, especially with digital, lower ticket digital products, where it looks like, oh man, I'm getting a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
What's really interesting is, so it was the 18 guides. It was 3 rows of the 6 ebooks. And so I have that same image as like kind of almost the header when you click on the sales page. And so one of the things that they got in it was 2000 like luxury video clips to make reels for like if they don't want to show their face,
Yep.
Lamborghinis, exotic stuff, stuff like that, luxury stuff. And so I looked at that image and that it said 2000 luxury clips and it was kind of in like the lower right hand corner where probably most people really didn't see it. And so I just was like, wait a second, let me move this up to the top left, so reading left to right, top to bottom, that's the first thing they're going to see. And that simple change, like, the sales page converted quite a bit better, leading in with that, hey, you're getting these 2000 clips, because you could make the argument 2000 clips was worth $18 alone,
Yeah, for sure.
with all that stuff. So that little slight tweak, I think I tested that 2 weeks in, and that made a significant, that's not significant difference, but it made me have more profitable days in a row. I did use a countdown timer in December. I just felt, and it did boost conversions. I just didn't feel right doing it, because like I set up deadline funnel and all that stuff. And I ended up taking it off in January just because I was like, it was legit. It redirected to a higher priced checkout page. I said, hey, get it at 18 or it's going to go up to 27. And I don't know. I just felt a little too internet markety. And so I took the timer off, and of course sales conversions dropped, but AOV increased,
Yep.
which I thought that was interesting. So yeah, it was working, but then I kind of had like, just because it's working doesn't mean I have to do it.
Yeah. Well, the idea with that is when people are feeling pressured, they're less committed, right?
Yeah.
And so if they're buying more under their will, then they're more committed into the process, and usually they will buy more stuff. So that's the kind of the trade-off, is like you will find AOV increases when you have more buy-in. So
Yeah.
really, really interesting data. All right, walk me through, or take us to like that, that week that you realize like, hey, I've got consistently profitable days here. Like, as you went through the testing process and you started to like, what happened when you realized that? Like, did you keep increasing the spend, or what happened after that?
Yeah. So I did, it was December, obviously. So I got, I don't want to say cocky, maybe a little too overly confident, thinking, wow, I'm profitable in December. As we all know, it's an expensive time to run ads. So I just thought, January is going to really, cost should drop and, I should be even better. But yeah, I continued increasing the budget and throughout the rest of December into January. Obviously the first of the year, that first week was awesome. Like I thought, okay, like I'm onto something here. And then of course, after that first week of January, things slowed down, got back to kind of normal. But yeah, I don't think I've spent really, I've spent anywhere between $300 to $500 a day. And then I was just worried about tracking. And we talked about that a little bit. And I was kind of like, gosh, I don't know. Like, should I get high roll? So I talked to a couple different companies about tracking and that, looked into a couple different companies. And I was just kind of hesitant on scaling it farther because I was like, I don't really know if it's working, what's working, the server side tracking, all that stuff. And so that's kind of held me back into really ramping things up. I'm also getting like my sister to help me out with emails. That's the one of the downsides with digital products is you're going to have more customer service, so customer support and that. I just got into high rolls yesterday, so now that hopefully I can get it, figured out. We'll see where I can confidently scale it more, that it's been kind of between that $300 and $500. I don't feel super confident in the data that Facebook's showing me.
Yeah. So you're spending $300 to $500 a day on that product, correct?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So that's been pretty consistent. What's your current cost per acquisition ballpark at that level?
So like 32, I just launched a new product at $27 front end and I'm paying about $21. And it's like, wow, my $18 product was 32.
Mm-hmm.
And this product that's $9 more and $10 lower CPA,
Yeah.
So it's like, wait a second, I think I found a better offer now,
And is it all digital again? I mean, like all PDFs? Like, is it just another PDF bundle? Like, is there any training videos?
This is just one PDF. This is one PDF.
Just one PDF for 27?
I mean, I link out to a couple different resources. I've kind of like on the organic side, I've kind of I've really pushed this PDF thing, and I kind of have my reasoning. Like I like it over a course. You don't have to log in and you can read it wherever you want. You don't lose your username and password. It's not that I'm anti-course, but people, they like this PDF thing. It's simple. You can read it in 10 to 15 minutes. And what I find is like the higher consumption rate, the easier it is to consume, the easier it is for them to actually implement it and get a result and get testimonial. And so I have more social proof.
I'm hosting in the next week and a half how to create your own like mini PDF is what I'm calling it.
Okay.
I am so on board. Like my first product I ever created was an ebook, a PDF. Like this is back in 2013.
Yep.
What I'm realizing more and more is that marketers, entrepreneurs, and creators, we get stuck in this idea of product creation mode of like, oh, I got to create a course. I got to do all these workshops, et cetera, et cetera. They won't go into execution because it's just so overwhelming. One of the best things to sell to people is what they're already buying. And the market is so used to buying PDFs. Like they know what a PDF is. Courses take time to consume. A PDF they can browse and scan, and the value is there. Like the value can easily be there. And so one of the most important things people have to understand is like, got to sell what people already know about. And PDFs are easy. They're impulsive. On your sales page, do you offer tons of bonuses or is it just, hey, here's the PDF. This is what I'm selling it for?
I do got a couple of bonuses and it's just links to other PDFs. And most of them are just very, very short, 2 to 5 pages maybe in length,
Yeah. For these impulsive buys, I mean, it's the barrier to entry is so low, but people just have to understand, like, they got to understand, like, all right, what's the fastest way to get started? And I'm a huge believer in PDFs, mini PDFs, whatever we're selling. Like, God, so many people are already buying this stuff. So really, really cool stuff. So you're launching a new product, right? You've launched a new one.
Yep.
Seems to be there's more demand for this one. This one's a little bit hotter. Your CPA is a lot considerably lower. How did you launch this one? Did you start out with real style ads? Did you start out with static images? What did we do first?
So what's funny is so I took the last campaign, right now I'm testing out the reels that performed well on the previous product. And now I'm running it to this new product. Not all of them are winners, but that's basically what I've been doing. It's just, okay, what worked in December and January that I can run traffic? I got one Instagram video or one Instagram reel has like 17,000 comments. And just that social proof alone, where when people see somebody comment or there's 17,000 comments. So I've really used that one. I posted that thing early December and I'm still running. I mean, it's been 3 months, but it's got that built-in social proof with all those comments, and that's kind of the thing with the ManyChat. When people comment, and then I have it set up where I automatically comment. So it's basically every comment gets 2 comments, and so it adds up pretty quickly. And so, I've been basically running the same style and then just kind of the retargeting with the image ads on the back end. The AOV right now is, but I'm like, I don't know. I think I have like a $17 spread right now between AOV and CPA with a horrible upsell. And it's just like, man, I think I could get that. I was telling my buddy, I think I could get that to 35 or 50, I think, obviously when scaling it, it's going to be different, but it's like, man, this funnel isn't even nowhere close to dialed in, and it's,
Yeah.
Spitting out money right now.
That's awesome. So Adam, what would be like one piece of advice you'd give to someone who's like just starting out, like they're a little bit nervous and reluctant to spend money on ads, but they know they see the value, they see the benefit of it. What would you say to that person who's in that stage?
I think even like, especially with so many people doing organic, I used to kind of beat on my chest being Mr. Organic, and then you get into ads and you're like, oh, what was that? What an idiot I was, spending all this time with organic, but I think even just with people doing organic, you could get started literally at $1 a day with retargeting, put the pixel on whatever website you have, whatever platform you use, set up the pixel, go to YouTube and how to install the pixel on Go High Level or ClickFunnels or Kartra or fill in the blank, get that pixel on and get started just with $1 a day. And that's kind of like the whole go do one push-up type thing. Well, like I started doing one, I might as well do 10, I'll read one page of a book, I might as well keep reading, just throw $1 a day at it, like a couple bucks a day. And stay top of mind with those people. And then, now that you got started, I'm actually thinking like putting together a PDF of like launch your first ad in 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be this retargeting ad, for $1, just to get your feet wet, okay, that wasn't too bad. What else do you got? How do I set up a campaign and a strategy and all that, because now I've got them in there. So I would say just a simple retargeting ad. And you can even, I'm working with people that they get started at $5 a day. It's going to take a little more time, obviously, to get the data, but even $5 a day, you can get results, eventually. And, especially with digital products with the margins, you can ramp it up. You can start at $5 a day. And if you have something that's selling, within 30 days, you could be spending a couple $100 a day fairly easily. And I think a lot of people miss that, where you can start at $5 and get to, $150, $200 a day within 30 days.
Yeah, I love it. And it's so true. There's always the argument of, do I do organic or do I do paid? And it's like, really do both. Yeah. But if you get paid to work and, if you have a compelling offer, there's nothing like it. And just be careful, because it's like crack cocaine. It is going to be your drug, because now you're going to be, wow, I've got a money printing machine. Yeah. And now you open up a whole other set of things that you got to manage and take care of at that point. But there's nothing like it. There really is nothing like it. So Awesome. Well, Adam, where can people go check out your stuff? I appreciate you spending some time with us, sharing your insights and your strategies. Where can people go find you?
Yeah, the best is just adamdukes.com. That's just my website where I got the products and blog posts and stuff like that. But that's the main hub.
Awesome. Great. Well, we will link it in the show notes. And if you enjoyed this episode, I loved it. I love hearing all these stories and strategies. Like I said before, I am social media dumb. I don't know what reels and stories and all this other stuff are. I'm hopefully learning sometime soon. But go check out Adam's website. Check him out. If you heard him on Experts Unleashed, please ping him. Let him know you heard him here. And until next time, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Adam.